I love that Carl can confuse a scientist.
Yeah. Yeah, because all systems of logic break down.
I know, even the scientist was going, oh, get rid of limpets.
Yeah. Who was that guy?
I think his name was Chris.
And where was he from?
In a place called Megavissi, where I went one year.
Megavissi.
And he's a scientist, is he?
I think he's got a fish shop or something like that.
He's got a fish?
No, he doesn't.
Well, like an aquarium type place.
Oh, right.
So.
A fish shop.
It wouldn't be past him that he, a winkle store. He's got a winkle store at Poole Harbour.
Yeah, that's an expert.
Oh dear.
But, what have you learned from that then?
Well, that, we don't know whether they're deaf or not, because the bloke in the chip shop couldn't confirm it. They eat their own legs. Think of that.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
They eat their own legs?
They eat their own legs if they get hungry.
Right.
And they grow back, don't they?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
If you eat one, they'll grow back.
Yeah.
And, yeah, you can put them in little jars and that. If you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's just a bit weird, isn't it? It's like, no, but people have a go about being cruel to animals and that. But what he was saying there is, right, what they've watched an octopus do, they've got hold of a crab, right? So that'll be being stressed out because it's out of the water.
Yeah.
They've then stressed it out even more by putting it in a jar.
Right.
Which he didn't like.
Which he did.
And then an octopus is crawling about on the jar.
Yeah.
And the crab knows that the octopus wants to eat it. Right?
Yeah.
So then it's having more threats.
Yeah.
Because of that. And then they let the octopus eat it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty...
Do we need crabs?
Do them next week, yeah?
Well, I want to sort out snails first.
Right. What's your pitch with snails? What do you know about snails?
I know that bats eat them. They can sleep for 13 years.
Right.
Oh, you do.
Can you believe that?
Okay. He said to me, snails can sleep for 13 years. And I went, right. He went, oh, thing is though, if it was a scientist, and he was, he was looking at it, and he put it in a quiet place, it might well doze off. He said it wouldn't be the same if it lived on the streets. And then we went on to a whole thing about homeless. He wants to do a game show with celebrities being homeless for a week.
What do you think?
Actually, I've got to say, that's not bad at all.
It's not bad, is it?
No.
Right, do you know how, like, Lenny Henry went to the jungle?
Yep.
Right? And you've got, who else did it? John Lovely made slippers out of a bra. Right? So I'm thinking, like, get a celebrity and say to him, no, just because, I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why all this came about. When I was walking back from that Christmas meal that I bought my girlfriend for 150 quid.
Lest we forget.
Right? I was walking down Mortimer Street and there was an homeless fella there and it was like, oh, it's really, really bad. But the weird thing is, it was about, I don't know, probably about 8 o'clock. Yeah. No, about 9. Right? And he was asleep. And I just thought, do homeless people ever think, I think I'll have an early one tonight? Right? That's what got me thinking. It's a bit weird, the whole lifestyle of it. The fact that he had an early one.
So, the fact, what, if it's a bit weird that he's sleeping not in a home, but on the street?
No, it's just that if I was homeless, I'd probably stay up quite late. Because it's not nice. Do you know what I mean?
What are you talking about?
Just being homeless isn't a good thing, is it?
No.
People forget how bad it is.
Yeah.
Right?
But surely sleeping gets you out of reality. They sleep because they're tired, they can't sleep very well, so they need all the sleep they can get.
Yeah, but sleeping's nice if you've got a nice big bed.
What, you think that they can go, I'll stay up, I'll go to bed at 2, I'll go straight to sleep and I'll pop up at 8 when the alarm clock goes off?
Well, that's just what I was thinking, right? So, I was thinking how bad it is, and it's, especially this time of the year,
Yeah, it's terrible. It's the
really
worst thing.
And to sort of give it some publicity and get a bit of help behind it, get celebrities, someone like Phil Mitchell, maybe, off EastEnders, who's a big fella, he can look after himself, put him in a shop doorway, have some cameras set far away in a building or something, they can film him, and it's up to him how he raises money for food to eat.
He could sign autographs.
Well, they wouldn't know him though, would they? Because you never look at a homeless person.
You get, what's her name? Gail Porter.
Yeah.
Gabby Roslin.
Right, yeah.
Narinda from Big Brother.
Yeah.
Who else would do it?
I got a game show idea.
Les Dennis, I reckon.
I got a game show idea called On the Game. And, what happened to you? Did you get her in with the big button?
Sugarcane by Sonic Youth on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Go on, Karl, what's next? Are you gonna do your, war feature? What is it called?
What do you think of that then?
You do that now?
It annoys me a bit, right, because we said before Christmas that we'd come back with new stuff.
Yeah.
Gave you a title to work on, that Ridiculous.
Right.
You came in today, I said, have you sorted it out? You say no. Steve, you're having a go at me for wanting to get music out of the library for you.
Yeah.
You haven't got any new ideas.
Sure.
But you're dissing mine.
I'm not dissing yours.
Well,
I'm a massive fan of them.
Good vibe off you.
Oh, I think that's very harsh. I just asked you when were we going to have war, do you think of that? I'm a big fan, I'm excited.
Well, it's not that good, to be honest with you.
Well, I disagree, it sounds brilliant.
Right, well, it's a bit of a tweak of Educating Ricky. Just some information on wars.
Yeah.
Okay.
World War II.
World War II, alright.
The world champion chess player, he helped someone out, in the war.
It's the detail I like.
No,
You know, it's nearly a history programme, isn't it?
I was watching those repeats of The World at War.
Yeah.
That were on in the mornings, you know, incredibly detailed, but they got nothing on card.
Did you write a lot of that David Sharma series?
he was able to use his skills that he has to play chess, because apparently chess is all about probabilities of, like, where a piece will be put.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they got him in, and they said, can you help us out? He said, yeah. And he said, right, where should we, like...
Hitler has just moved his queen.
So that's a
He
fact.
sent in a bishop that ran diagonally through the troops, knocking them over.
Sorry, wait a minute, Carl. So they got a chess
Sorry,
player.
that's it.
Well, yeah. It's just like, oh, what do you think of that?
Again, that's not a story.
But it angers me that he says that I'm down on the ideas when I mean, that's beginning to shape up as quite interesting. I thought you were going to tell me which battle or which event
World
was
War
you...
World War II.
There's not a battle.
But which bit of your World War II?
Like, the middle bit.
There's 6 years worth.
Yeah, well, probably about a bit in.
Guessing.
I thought, let's...
Guessing.
Well, alright, yeah, there is a bit of guesswork, but it doesn't matter.
But that could have been an interesting thing if you told me it had an impact on the
Well, when you
Normandy
look at these
landings.
things, do you go, bloke wants help chest, oh, use that, and run away from the computer?
No,
or
I
run
read
out
it.
of the bookshop?
I read the first line where I get enough information, I just think...
What do you mean you read the first line where you get enough information? Imagine if you were someone's defence lawyer. And he was like, he's on death row and went, I don't think he did it.
Yeah.
I read the first line, I didn't read the file
It's a-
He
completely.
was in a hotel in Texas, right? Go on.
It's enough.
Oh, some other
It's
stuff.
enough,
He
it's
definitely
enough,
didn't kill it.
it's enough, it's enough. Yeah, no,
I
that's
just thought they always took ages on deciding where to go. It's just like, but there's a better way.
I don't know what you're saying now, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it
I
takes-
actually
when-
don't know what
when
you're talking
people
about.
play chess, they take ages to make the move. So I'm just thinking, there's probably a quicker way.
What?
Than finding where a boat is, than getting a chess player in.
I don't know what you mean now.
Oh,
Are you talking
I'll
about
tell you what,
battleships now?
They should have got an expert battleships player in.
Right?
Yeah. What? Carl,
Right,
what?
forget that one.
Or someone who's
No,
really good
I'm not being funny, but what is that? What are you telling me there?
Someone who's really good at risk. They should have brought them in.
Yeah, Cluedo.
Right,
Yeah.
another fact.
Oh, that's enough then, is it?
Well, they use expert Cluedo players, but the police use expert Cluedo
you
players.
do use, yeah.
If ever there's a murder in a country house...
Do you think they use that old Chinese fella, on the front of, Mastermind?
Mastermind, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for logic problems. The Enigma code was broken by top Mastermind players.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, second
And a guy who's had a couple of rounds of Yahtzee and done very well.
Second fact about the war.
And for engineering, they use a lot of Jenga players.
Absolutely. Whenever they want
will
to-
the building collapse? I don't know, let's pull this, let's see. Yes,
If they
it
wanted
will.
to identify...
What are you doing?
If they wanted to identify spies,
Yeah.
bring me the champion of Guess Who.
Was it a woman with glasses? No, right,
Has
sit
he got
down.
a beard? Is it Bernard?
Right, Carl, sorry, go on.
Another war fact. So
Go on.
you're saying it's rubbish, but look, you love that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Second
you're
one.
absolutely right.
The first bomb that was dropped on Berlin,
Yeah,
it didn't kill a person, but it killed an elephant.
I think that's true.
That is true.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the last one.
Is that all you know about that? See, that's interesting, isn't it? What
That's
was the
enough.
But no, it's not
not
though.
enough.
Because I mean, listen. Most people want to go. Oh, what was the elephant doing there? Did
Oh,
it
it's
land in a
either-
zoo? Was it a pet?
Oh.
Was it a lost elephant? Did they aim at the elephant? How did it kill it? Did
Was
it
it
hit it on the
Hitler's
head?
favourite elephant?
yeah, was it Hitler's favourite elephant? Did it then have one ball?
Yeah.
I mean, these are the things. You know, why didn't he catch it with his trunk?
Did it have an effect on German morale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah.
elephant is kaput.
Oh, Jumbo! I don't want to fight anymore. Anyway, listen. Rob's question is this, Carl, and it's specifically to you. Carl, if you could have a superpower, like Superman, what would your superpower be?
Can I suggest consciousness?
Yeah.
Can I have the power of thought?
Remember, you've already got opposable thumbs. So cross that one off the list.
Oh, come on, Carl.
There are so many to choose from. Telepathy, X-ray vision.
Flight, invisibility,
Choose it wisely.
strength, intelligence.
But why have I been picked?
Oh, for God's sake!
No, but I'm just saying.
It's Rob's question for
No,
you.
but I'd just say, does anyone else want this? Or, do you know what I mean?
Oh,
No,
what
just-
do you
because-
wish you
no,
could do that's
no,
impossible is the
because-
question,
no, because-
or out of what? What do you mean?
Because with that comes a responsibility. Is what
With
I'm saying.
enormous power does come great responsibility.
So would it? Well, would you like spidey senses? Is that what you're saying? Would you like some senses? Would you like some sense? The power of sense?
Come on, Carl. You know what these superheroes because they can.
I know, but it
They can
always
freeze things,
They're never
they-
happy, are they? Do you know what I mean? Spider-Man wanted to tell that girl that he could climb walls and that. He's like, I can't. Superman didn't never tell Lewis and that.
Who's Lewis? Who's Lewis?
Lewis.
Who's Lewis?
It's just a pen pal of Superman's.
Lewis, his little secret chum. Yeah. All right, Superman. Hello, Lewis. What are you doing? Superman. Who are you? I can't tell you, Lewis. Brilliant.
You know, Hulk, he wasn't happy. So,
But you're being allowed to choose the superpower. You don't have to get it forced upon you like the Hulk.
Hulk, he wasn't happy. It's true. He's got a theme. He has got a theme. There's not many happy superheroes, are
But
there?
leaving aside the superheroes you're already aware of,
Yeah.
what superpower would you want? You don't have to fight crime with it, Carl.
Everyone around the world now is thinking, what can Carl choose? Let's deliver it to him now, Carl. Think about it and give us the answer, please.
Let me just remind you of some of the other things. Invisibility.
all the time though, or can I sort of turn that on and off?
Let's say you could turn it on and off. Would that interest you?
Yeah. I'll have that.
Right. Okay, and what would you do with this power of invisibility?
Just sort of wander about and that, just not get seen.
It's a brilliant power! It's a brilliant... And it's put to such brilliant use! It's brilliant! Well done!
And why would you want to walk around and not be seen in that? What would you gain from that?
Don't know, you could sort of go in shops when they shut, so you don't have to go with
How
the
would you get
crowds.
in?
Just get in just before they lock up.
Oh, yeah! How would you get out?
Wait till the morning.
Brilliant.
So hang on. So that's your use of invisibility. They found the power of invisibility. You want to sneak into. Never mind. No, hang on. You want to sneak into HMV, right? Wait for 12 hours, and then buy something.
Ah, I love it.
Just so that you don't have to be in there with other people.
Do you know what? I don't want it. I don't want a power.
Why not?
Because I just don't think it'll do me any good. I think it's more of a hindrance.
I love this. It's like, just think of his presents. We've given you a go, a trip into space, and the chance to be invisible.
Not happy with any of them.
Yeah, what he wants is a voucher for HMV.
Yeah. He just wants some tokens for a record shop.
When are the exams? June?
Something like that. Yeah.
We'll try and register next week, and I reckon you can get an A or B.
In history.
I'm
In
busy.
history. No, don't worry about it. It's just easy. You get your Brody's notes. If Heat magazine, they love you, Carl. They could probably sort something out. They could probably pay for a tutor. They got a lot of money. They sell a lot of magazines.
I mean, it is always, almost always, and you found that out, I discovered this, it's always the Tudors and Stuarts. There's no fear for that, them not coming up. Now, what do you already know about them? You must already know stuff about Henry VIII and Elizabeth.
No, because it's too long ago to even get interested in. Do you know what I mean? You can't.
Is that why you
relate to
didn't-
it.
Okay.
The Anderson thing, it was like, God, you know, I bet my mum and dad were in an Anderson shelter. You know, this is interesting.
What, when they...
Oh, my granddad would have like had something to do with this. But the Tudors, it's like, I don't know even if they had a family back then.
Play a record!
It's got the problem with the moon is
Here's a statement. The problem with the moon is...
Yeah.
dot, dot.
Yeah, the problem with the Earth is there's too much water.
Yeah.
no, the moon. It's been around ages, hasn't it?
Yeah.
But it's got no history. It's got nothing to show for it. Just a load of old rocks and stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, history is created by stuff happening on it. So really, the moon, even though it's old, in a way it's new. Because it's untouched and that.
But we don't go to the moon to visit museums or arcades.
No, but
or
say like
historical landmarks.
Henry VIII, right? You watch Antiques Roadshow or whatever, and some woman goes, "Oh, this plate you've got, this was Henry VIII's." And as you can see the knife marks on it. Oh, look, there's some chicken on it, right? And you go, oh, God, yeah, that's amazing. Then someone goes in and goes, here's a plate of Henry VIII's, but it hasn't been used, it's still in the box. You'd go, well, it's not as good, that. It's got no history.
No, because very often on the Antiques Roadshow, they have Henry VIII's plate with a bit of chicken on it. They kept that. Don't throw that away. Why? Arthur Negus are like that in a few hundred years' time.
No, but do you understand what I'm saying? Things are only good if stuff's happened on it. The moon, you're up there, you're having a look, you're going, no one else has even been here.
But you go to the moon for research purposes, for
But there's
scientific
nothing there,
research.
Steve. This
What
is
do you
what
mean
I'm
there's
saying.
nothing there? They're examining the soil and the
Got soil
environment
here.
and the air.
It's just a long
Well, they're
way
not
to
doing
go
that,
for
are they?
nothing.
They're just not doing that.
Well, they're not, are they? Because last time they went up, they were playing golf or something. There's golf balls up there that they've been whacking about. What sort of research is that? That's what I'm saying. There's nothing up there, so why else would you go all that way and go, oh, nothing here. Fancy a knockabout? Why are they knocking golf balls about if there's really important stuff to look at? You don't see people in museums going, fancy having a knock some golf balls about? No, I'm looking at this vase. Oh, right, that's interesting. But on the moon, nothing. Nothing to look at. What other games have you brought? That's what I mean. And then we went and had a look at the volcanoes and that. They've got 36 of them to look at.
How many did you look at before you realised that pretty much, you've seen one volcano, you've seen them all?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Really? And then when you got to the 8th, you thought, no, I know what this is going to be, Suzanne. This is going to be like a mountain with a hole in the top.
Yeah.
Really?
But it happened years ago as well. It's like, just keep a couple, fill the rest in, tidy it up.
Fill the rest in!
Yeah, no,
Well,
yeah.
getting some builders.
No, seriously though.
Can I have 4 million tons of concrete, please?
They're an absolute death trap.
Yeah, what do you mean fill them in? Do you know what a volcano is?
Just a hole, isn't it? That's happened.
Well, it's more than the
happened back
hole, it's
in-
more a portal to the magma in the centre of the earth.
Back in 1730 it happened, and they still haven't sorted it out.
Well, when you say it happened, volcanoes were made a lot longer ago than
No,
1730.
but the one that did Lanzarote in.
Right.
Sort it out.
What do you suggest? How
tidy
can they
up.
fill it in? It's joined. It's all joined.
No, but what I'm
and
saying
the,
is, it was
the
a-
big
it was-
plates of the earth are all joined.
It
All
was
the
a disaster,
magma's
wasn't it?
joined.
With the trade centre thing, that happened. They cleaned it up, sorted it out, they've moved on. That's what I'm saying. Whereas Lanzarote have just gone, leave it. It happened back in 1730.
You misunderstand me. How, in the name of God, can you fill in a volcano? You ignorant twit.
No, but it's not just the holes, they've actually left the lava everywhere. That's what I mean. It's not just the big holes, there's lava everywhere.
But it's molten rock. They can't just pick it up like they're like a carpet.
Put it in the holes are there ready, just push it all in.
The world's oldest tortoise, a 250-year-old tortoise, died last week.
Does it?
Yeah, in a zoo in India. 250 years old.
So would that have had that thing that they say about how you get a flashback of your life?
You mean your life flashes before your eyes?
Yeah, they say, don't they? Just like on your last breath or whatever. You like see you coming out of the womb and everything.
Well, one, I don't believe that's true. I don't believe your life flashes before you. I don't know what evidence we've got. People who die say, you never guess what's happening.
No, but there's loads of things that have happened where people go, Oh, that's weird. That goes to show that we've been around before, or...
No, it doesn't. There's none. I have no evidence for that. Of
Well, I
reincarnation.
told you that time when it happened to me when I was younger.
Go on.
Your life flashed before your eyes?
Well, it wasn't like a flashback, but it was close. It's the next thing next to flashbacks. It was, I was having a bath, right? And, my mum had, like, run the bath and that, and, she said, is that too warm? And I said something like, no, it's alright, it's a lot better than when I used to have a bath in that wooden bath in front of the fire.
Okay.
And she was like, what? And I said, you know, well, it happened years ago. And she was a bit like, oh. And I can't remember that now, but she talks about it, and, you know, that just goes to show that, because I was at an age when I wouldn't have known about wooden baths years ago in front of fires.
No, but you talk rubbish now. So all you were doing, you were talking rubbish from an early age. Where's the problem?
No, but you can only talk rubbish if you're aware of knowledge.
Well,
I didn't know about wooden baths, so why would I have invented
But Carl,
that?
we've only got your mother's word on this, and she thought you might one day be a doctor.
Yeah.
So,
She put a rock with a feather on it to keep a parrot company.
lest we forget.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Well, it's all bollocks.
So have you researched this? You've tried to find out when little Karl Mark I and his wooden bath, when he was
No, I
around?
don't want to go there, because that's when you start digging out all sorts
It's
of trouble,
rubbish. It's rubbish.
No, it's not rubbish.
Well, it is
what
rubbish.
sort of stuff might
There's
you
no
discover?
scientific evidence.
No,
but
just like I've said about family trees and that, don't be looking at them, because you're only going to find stuff you don't really want to know about. It's the same as that, innit? Leave it, let it be. Do you know what I mean? If your granddad was Einstein, you'd know about it, because your family would be shouting about it. If he was a bad un, you'd go, oh, keep that quiet. So
Right.
don't look at family trees, and it's the same, don't be looking back in your past lives.
There's
Because
no
God knows
past
what
lives.
you've been up to. Well,
Karl and the wooden bath. Proof. If
Karl
proof be needed.
Pilkington, live on air, talking shit again. Right, next one.
which one's the next one?
Oh, what about your paper round?
Right.
Can I ask very quickly, did your life flash before your eyes like they say it did?
No, I just sort of went really calm and like, I'm ready for this now.
Right.
I wasn't bothered, do you know what I mean? I
You had
wasn't
no
scared.
regrets?
No. It was weird. Just really weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, the paper round one. Paper round, I'd still say it's the best job I've ever had.
And he means it!
No, I really enjoyed it. It's like, you know, you don't have to work with anyone else, right? So you make your own rules.
Just think of that.
You know, you sort of
You're
around.
spreading information
Well, yeah,
to people.
yeah,
Vital information.
giving a service,
Yeah.
and no one else is around. You know, you can just do what you want and think about stuff whilst you're cycling around on your bike. It's really good.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Imagine the stuff he's thinking about when he's riding around.
I can't. Oh, so getting in the head of a salamander.
So anyway, I loved it, and even though I only got like 50p a day, right, no matter what the weather was like and stuff, I used to get up at 4:30 and go and do the round, and
Why'd you get up at 4:30?
because I wanted to watch the Pink Panther at 5:30, so I wanted to get me paper round done.
I said, why didn't you watch the Pink Panther?
And then did the
he went, oh, I can't sit there thinking I've got my paper round to do.
He'll ruin it for him.
Yeah, so is it a good job or not?
So 4:30 I was up and about, and this morning it was like winter, really bad winter, bad snow, you know, freezing cold, really windy and all that. And my mum said to me before I went to bed, she said, don't be getting up tomorrow, I'll give you the 50p. I said, it's not about the 50p. So, you know, people want the papers and stuff. So,
Conscientious.
so anyway, I went to bed thinking, you know, that's it, I've told her I'm still going, so, you know, whatever. Go to sleep, get up in the morning, and put all my kit on. And I used to have layers of clothing on because it was really cold. I had like a big anorak on with the fur on. I had like waterproof pants, and I got my paper round bag. And I went downstairs to get out and tried to open the door, and it was locked. So, oh God, so she'd locked it so I couldn't go out. So I'm searching around the house looking for the keys. She must have hid them somewhere. I thought, oh God, you know, I've got the papers to do. So I thought, how can I get out? So I went upstairs, climbed out of the bathroom window.
God.
Right, and to try and jump out of the bathroom window onto the porch. But the problem was, I had so much gear on, I was like the Michelin Man. So I could hardly move as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get out the window, and I'm like, trying to stretch down like that, get my foot on the porch. And my bag got caught on like the hook of, do you know, like how you have a hook so you can put the window open?
Right, yeah,
The
yeah,
little
yeah,
arm goes
yeah.
on. My bag had got caught on that. I was holding on to the wall and my foot on the thing, so I couldn't sort of pull it away in case I pulled it away and then fell on my head.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck there,
Dangling.
dangling. My dad comes back from working nights.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm a burglar.
Gets out his gun.
So he's shouting and stuff, going mad and going, Dad, it's me. And he had to give us a hand using a...
He's heard that wily trick in Manchester before.
He had to help me using a washing prop thing. A big stick.
What did he do?
Well, he said, just hold on for your dear life, and I'll sort of push the paper bag off the hook.
Why didn't he go upstairs and sort it out?
It was at that point where I was in the middle, there was nothing you could do, do you know what I mean? It's at that point where you've just got to make a decision.
Yeah.
And by the time you go upstairs, who knows what might have happened.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to act there and then, not messing around.
Yeah.
So...
And you could hear downstairs, now here he is, the Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Dad! Hurry up! Panther, ever so pink! Oh.
So that was close to death, because I must have been about 30 foot in the air.
Yeah.
And I would have, you know, that would have been nasty if I fell to the concrete paving, so...
Well,
And,
there's more to come. Should we play a record and come back to this? Because he's got more.
Oh yeah, no, there must be one of them where you did fall on your head. This is the one I'm waiting for. There's gotta be one. That would explain so much.
Yeah.
I nearly broke my back.
Jeez.
Once. My dad said, I bet I can't kick me out. And I said, I bet I can. And,
I don't remember this. You didn't tell me this one.
I bet he can, what?
I was in the garden, summer's day, and it was that era when, like, doing kung fu and all that was really popular.
Sure.
And I was, like, messing about in the garden, punching the tree and stuff. And my dad said...
What a kid he must have been.
My dad said, I bet you can't kick your height.
Kick your height? What, you mean
Yeah.
kick as high as yourself?
Yeah, so I must have been, like, 5 foot or something then. And I said, of course I can. So I bet you can't. But instead of doing it on the grass, I did it on, like, the concrete bit. Kicked it, actually did it. I went, there you go. But didn't, like, get my foot down quick enough and land on
You
my back.
paused to say, there, I've done it.
Yeah.
As opposed to putting your foot back on the ground.
And landed on my back, and I'd still get back trouble now.
Do you?
Because they say that, don't they?
So he's, to cut a long story short, he gave me about 4 or 5 near-death experiences, and he went, and the whole point of this, he went, so that's why I think I'm gonna die of something horrible, like cancer. And I went, why? He went, right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
He said, well, I don't check my balls. Wait. He said, I don't like the feel.
Carl, always check your balls.
Do you
I
check
don't
yours?
like the feel. Why don't you like the feel of your own balls?
They just... I mean, you know that I don't like bodies anyway.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It worries me a bit that you've got all that going on in your body, right, and your skin's keeping it all in place.
Stop. We're going down a whole other avenue of discussion. Let's play a track, let's come back to it.
Oh, right, I've brought in this, this is, free, you'll know from the jeans commercials.
Yeah, All Right Now
Long
and
time
everything,
ago,
yeah.
All Right Now, yeah. But this is a great little track. This is, My Brother Jack. Stereophonics, Vegas 2 times, XFM 104.9, into last hour.
Yeah.
And then 3 shows to go.
That's true enough.
Till we're off the air. I'm Ricky Gervais.
With him, Steve Merchant.
Carl.
Oh, yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
Let's go on, tell you, we cut short last week, weren't we? You had an amazing story about Neil Armstrong, didn't you?
Well, we've been doing quotes, haven't we, like famous quotes.
Sure.
Yes. I've, gone down in history.
Yeah.
And, I was saying, quotes don't really matter. It's more the situation that you're in than the quote itself.
Go on.
So, like, Neil Armstrong,
Yeah.
if he'd have said, what,
Tie bacon round your head.
I'm as happy as a pig in
yeah,
dust.
that would have still gone down in history as, like, being the thing that Neil Armstrong said, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
Space is driven in mental, probably would have been, yeah.
But he chose to say something profound and
Yeah.
meaningful,
Which
to
was?
befit the situation. It's, well, he got it wrong, actually. It's, a small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, but it was meant to say...
Yeah, we discussed this last week,
well,
Rick.
yeah,
Stop
yeah.
showing off.
Well, no, but people might not have listened last week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I can't imagine
Well,
people
we
not-
better tell him every week then.
Yeah, but he said, he should have said, this is one small step for a man.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had a good effort, and that's quite...
And that's
Quite
an example
profound
of what I'm saying. The fact
Yeah.
that he got it wrong, but it still went down in history.
Right.
But anyway, the bit that, and it didn't happen anyway, did it?
What do you mean it didn't happen anyway?
That's what a lot of people say. That no one's actually been on the moon.
Ah, yes, of course.
They filmed it in Teddington
Well,
Studios.
they were saying something about there was shadow on the film, and you wouldn't get shadow on the film, and there's all sorts of things.
There are these people that you always quote as they.
Who are they?
Are they living in jars? Are they little fellas in jars? Go on.
Do they appear to you in dreams?
I've spoken to different people about it, and there's loads of little things that if you watch that programme, of them being on the moon, there is no way they could have done it.
Right.
Done.
Fine, yeah.
Done.
Anyway.
That's put to bed.
Yeah.
But
Good.
anyway, as he was getting back in the spaceship on the moon, or whether it be a TV studio, he said, good luck, Mr. Croucher.
Right.
Have you heard this?
No.
And the reason he said that was because when he was a young kid, and he was I think it was Croucher, but when he was playing as a young kid in his garden, he was playing baseball with his mate, and he chucked the ball to his mate, and his mate hit the ball, and the ball went over the fence to the next door neighbour, right? So he goes, right, I'll have to snip over and get the ball. And as he was getting the ball, the window was open to his neighbour's house, and he heard, like, the woman shouting at her husband, saying, I'm not going to be giving you, a bit rude, so if you've got a kid in the car or whatever, turn it down. What, yeah, that's covered that, yeah. Right,
Genius.
I'm not, no matter how many times you ask me, I'm not going to be giving you oral sex. The day I do that, man would have walked on the moon. Right?
Yeah.
He grows up, he gets on the moon, and he remembers all that story, and as he gets back in the spaceship, he says, good luck, Mr. Croucher.
Now, do you know, no, we'll have to say, I've heard that story before, but when I heard it, the woman said, the day I give you a blowjob is the day the boy next door walks on the moon. Which makes it all the more profane.
Impossible.
And enjoyable. Yeah, and unlikely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've heard the same story, Carl.
Yeah.
Look how pleased he is.
I love that.
Right, so not only have you remembered that anecdote, which may or may not be true, but of course you've also proven
The
that,
day I give you a
never
blowjob, that kid in the garden's probably going to walk on the moon and say something about giant leaps.
Exactly.
But, yeah, you must have heard the thing that it never actually happened.
Yes, we've all heard it. We've all dismissed it as nonsense.
And moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And got on with our lives.
Right, Carl.
What?
Should we do, White Van Man?
Well, you didn't prepare me for that. We better play a track and then I'll dish out I'll fish out the newspaper and stuff.
This is a good little, a little bootleg track here from, Meats and Poultry here. They've, mixed, A with, Outcast.
Right.
Chorus is great.
Is it highly illegal?
It is.
So people shouldn't rush to their tape machines now and press play
Okay,
and
so
record.
whatever you do, don't record this now if you're recording it. Hold on, don't say anything. Chewing breaks, painkiller on XFM. Carl's getting a little bit stressed, aren't you?
No, I just, you know, gotta keep focused, gotta keep the show good and that.
Yeah.
You know, and in the
Yeah.
new year, the idea was come up with some good snappy stuff.
Yeah.
And today, I just think it's been a mess with you, to be honest. I mean, this is the sort of thing I'd prefer to do after the show as the producer.
Yeah.
But,
You know what, I think it's a discipline problem.
Is
I'm not sure what he's got in it.
it because I just put sellotape on your head?
well, that's a bit to do with it. But just, you know, let's just focus
But I
on...
didn't put it when there was any hair on your eyebrows. I put it across your forehead.
Right. What do you think of that, then?
Yeah.
We've got one more bit left.
Brilliant.
One more fact. The French, right, when they were at war,
David Sharm, I just imagine him just introducing it. Amazing.
Which war was this?
it was still the World War,
One or
World
two.
War- World War
Go on,
II.
it's 50-50, go on. yeah.
Right, World War II, what the French did, everyone needs a code.
Everyone needs a code. Yep.
A code when you're in the army.
This is a Disney song.
Right? And, you know, to sort of give the go-ahead if you want to go into battle and stuff.
Okay.
Right? So,
Needs a code.
but the weird thing
Game
is,
show.
right, the weird thing is, do you know what theirs was?
Go on. Do you?
Yeah, I know what it is. And it's
So what
a bit
was
weird.
the French code?
For what?
To sort of say, right, yeah, go on.
But they had more than one.
on this day.
But I don't know what day it is.
On
this
day.
Oh, what? It's like saying, what am I thinking of? What was the battle? What was the...
Okay, so alright, what...
Look at him, look, he's genuinely confused that I've asked this question. Right.
It was...
No. If you ask me a question, ask me the question correctly. What was the code for battle during what battle?
World War II.
No, that's not a battle. That's a war.
Yeah, it was in a war, yeah.
I don't know what to do. He confuses people.
Alright, okay, what was it, Carl? What was the
Yeah,
code?
what
was
are
the
you
French
thinking
code?
of? Right.
John's got a moustache.
What are you talking
My
about?
lungs are gonna burst.
That was a code that the French used. You know, like, I mean, I just think it's a bit daft, right? Because you could come up with that by mistake.
yeah. Two French blokes talking in the trenches, and they see a major walk past, and they go, oh, look, John's got a moustache. And they all go and go, no, I was just talking! What are you talking about?
Well, the way I don't think that's a good code. I'm not.
I
you
don't
know.
believe it is the code.
No, it is seriously.
And what?
And
It's
would
just
it,
that
would
no
it
one
have
talks
been, would it have
about
been
it.
said in French?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
weird-
yeah. Guessing. Yeah.
No, but
What?
you see, I can't even be bothered
What are you saying, Carl?
because it's not a very good code. Do you know, like we've talked in the past about things you don't see, and I said an old man eating a Twix. You have to use that. That's safe because no one is ever going to see a man having an old man having a Twix.
What do you mean?
Well, use that as a code. Don't use a saying, John's got a moustache that could crop up. It's like the war's kicked off. How did that happen? Well, I said John had a moustache. Oh,
Two French folks would never be saying John's got a moustache. Why would they?
because back then they were fashionable.
He nearly makes sense, doesn't he?
I assume it would have been Jean.
Yeah. No, probably John.
And how would this code have been? I mean, who would have announced
No, I
this
just
to
read it.
everyone?
I read it like that, Steve. That's what was on the internet. This is a code that was used. John's got a
Don't be
moustache.
angry with me.
I know, but you're always asking questions.
Because I'm interested in history.
Yeah. No, you're genuinely interesting bloke, Carl. We'd like to know. I'd like to film you secretly. You know, like they do, like Nature Watch, when they put it in a badgers sort of thing,
Warren,
right?
yeah.
And they just watch it. I'd like to see what you do, pop around going, I wish I could download the music in your head, because it'd be wah, 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 and you see something weird, you go, wah, 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 wah. And then you read that and you go, and you write it down, and that's what comes out. John's got a moustache.
I'd like to see next Christmas.
Imagine the French, right, for their battle cry, for their battle code, to know it's going ahead, they're going over the top, is you never see an old bloke eating a Twix. Imagine that.
Yeah, but all these things are things that I think in my head.
Keep them in there.
Do you know, like
Please.
before when I was talking about going out on, Christmas Day,
Yeah.
having a meal on the way back, seeing a homeless person.
Yeah.
And then I think, God, that wouldn't be good. I don't know, TV show. Right? You can think of things like that. When I saw the homeless fella, then I got talking to Suzanne about when I had to sleep in my car.
What do you mean? Go on.
Let's play a record and come back to any sleeping in the car.
God, I can't wait.
Play a song for the lovers.
I was watching last night on cable TV 1987's amazing Sign of the Times Prince in concert film. It was dynamite. I thought to myself, how brilliant he is. It reminded me of the gig I went to see last year. He played this tune. It's from the album Parade. Okay, I don't want to discuss whether or not Prince is acceptable on XFM or whether he's a genius. He is a genius. That's the end. That's the end of the discussion. Play the tune. He's dynamite. It's a song for the ladies.
I remember, I was going to tell you, I was on the way here. Do you remember John? He's got a moustache now.
I can't believe it. Lads, no! Don't. It's not on. It was. The battle's not on.
Look at your face, Carl.
the elephant did die.
Yeah, no, I believe that. Yeah.
Sometimes it snows in April from the lovely Prince.
Brilliant.
From the album Parade. He doesn't always have to get up and have a rock about. He can just sit there at the piano.
Can't argue with that.
Back out of
After the break, Steve, a brand new feature I've just done. That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. You see, you say Ricky Gervais doesn't put any work into this show. He's just done that.
I'm
during
going to
that
tell
song.
Carl some amazing facts from the world of science, nature, politics. 4 are real. 1 is absolutely ridiculous. Cat Stevens from the Catch Bullet 4 album, Sitting. Little interesting fact for the nerds. We got it down to 2 songs to do this intro music to The Office. It was that one and Handbags and Glad Rags. We went for Handbags and Glad Rags. Interesting, isn't it?
It is a fascinating fact, except
Yeah.
of course I still feel we should use that one, except we couldn't, because Cat Stevens' people wouldn't let us. Or it was too expensive or something.
I don't know. We re-recorded Rod Stewart one. That was too expensive.
I still prefer that one.
Yeah. Difficult. Difficult.
Decisions, Rick,
Anyway,
decisions.
that's ridiculous, right. 5 facts. Right, 1 is totally made up. Alright?
Just do 3. 3 and
Oh, well,
one-
there's... Okay, right, oh, let's see, what shall I do then? There
This
are more
was
moves...
carefully planned.
There are more moves possible in a game of chess than there are particles in the universe. You can't get any colder than liquid nitrogen. I think it's minus 273. It's impossible to get colder than that. The honey badger has got skin so loose that if you grabbed it by the neck, it could come away from its skin, turn round and bite you out of its anus.
That's ridiculous. Right, Rockbusters then. Wrapping it up.
It needs some work, that game, but I see it's got a lot of mileage.
Right, here we go then. The first one, £42 for a torch. That's a bit pricey.
Go on.
That was D.
Yeah.
That was Daylight.
Wait, I thought Delight, and I thought it doesn't work.
second one.
I also thought Delight doesn't work.
Second one.
There's no, wait. Dear Light, it doesn't work. It's Delight.
Second one was.
No, Carl, it doesn't work.
Yeah, but if we're going to continue with this feature, you've got to tweak them a bit, right? People have got it. We've had loads of emails, more than ever. So, do you know what I mean? Let them decide. If they don't like it, they won't email in, but they're loving it.
They've
Right?
all come from the same institution.
Go on.
He'll fit some chocolate to your feet. That was A. That was Aerosmith. Right?
Aerosmith. You've heard of a blacksmith?
But a smith is just a workman. It doesn't necessarily. No, you can have anything. You can have a locksmith. A smith doesn't just mean it does shoes.
Right. Do you think?
Aero Cobbler would have worked. Unfortunately, there isn't a band called Aero Cobbler.
Get ready with a winner. Do you think your kid will get that strawberry for me? That's Wilson Pickett.
Wilson Pickett.
Have you got a winner?
I'll give you that.
I have to say that I don't know if these guys have won in the past, but they were the first people to email in. I mean, normally I just give it to anyone, but these guys, literally, you've given the clues,
people
Carl.
get
I'm
Aerosmith?
amazed. Everyone seemed to get Aerosmith. Everyone got D-Light, everyone got Wilson Pickett. I'm absolutely stunned. You know, they deserve it. They deserve the junk. Prizes.
Right.
So we'll give it to Jonathan and Louise, who, as I say, may have won in the past, but as I say, they were very, very quick. You've got to be them if you want to win. And they're from Wrexham.
Brilliant.
So good luck to them.
So that's
I hope
that
they
then.
enjoy Jerry's yoga diet.
Back next week then. Yeah.
See you later.
See ya.
Cheers.
But this tortoise. So if that's
And also, its flashbacks would just be, the same wall. I mean, it basically spent, I don't know how many years, in a cage. It was in the zoo, so, it died of liver failure. Which is a problem if you're a tortoise, because with us, they can cut you open and have a look at the liver. With that, it's going, forget it, we're not getting in there. It's like you when you didn't want the plumbers to knock through the tiles to check out the piping. It's around with the tortoise. If it's a liver, we're not going through that. It's not worth it. If it's your head or your feet, we'll have a look, mate. But we're not looking at internal organs with a giant tortoise.
why not?
'Cause, what do you mean?
Well, can't you drill into those things? It is only a shell. That is easier to replace than skin.
Carl, I was joking. You can't do a liver operation on a tortoise.
Why not? It's got all the same parts, hasn't it? All the same body parts and that.
Well, I think that's the point. Well, not really, but, yeah, it's...
But
loosely
better
speaking.
ones in a way, because they live longer. So they're doing something right. Aren't they?
Right.
If they can live 250 odd years, our art can't do that.
Right.
Which is what I say about our tortoise has got it right in a way, that it's taking its time on everything. We're rushing about, getting stressed out. That's just, getting on with it. It's not rushing. It eats healthy, doesn't it? It eats lettuce and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's probably doing it right, but to be honest, it's too much. I wouldn't want to live 250 years.
Just eating lettuce. Let's not forget that all a tortoise does is eat lettuce. It's not like it's jet skiing weekends and then getting its lettuce on a Monday. That's all it does is eat lettuce.
Yeah.
And that appeals to you, does it?
No, I'm just saying that it must be doing something right, though.
Of course it's doing something right.
Because it's living 250 years.
But all animals do something right, however long they live. Mayflies live a day, but they're doing something right.
Well, they're not, are they? They haven't got a chance to learn how to do it right. And then they're dead. That's from one extreme to another, isn't it? That just seems a bit mental to me, that living a day. I wouldn't bother, so forget it. Could you be bothered? You don't, just as you get to know someone.
Yeah, another mayfly.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if we had that, if that's how we lived our lives, you wouldn't have a chance to make a mark or anything, would you? It's just...
Would you try and pack a lot in that day? Disneyland, whatever.
No, I prefer to make it miserable, so I don't miss it. If you know what I mean. But I was thinking the other day about, your body and everything, because it is amazing, isn't it? How it works.
Oh, yeah.
Does the brain control you, or are you controlling the brain? I don't know if I'm in charge of mine.
Nor do I,
There's
Carl.
a surprise.
Nor do I, Carl.
No, do you know what I mean though by that?
Does the brain control you, or do
Well,
you
when
control the brain?
like, don't you ever sort of think sometimes? Say if you're making,
But
'cause
you
I
are
was
the
making,
brain.
No, but I was making a shopping list, right? Going right, I need some rice, kidney beans, and I thought I had everything, and I sort of was rolling up the paper, and then something went, oh, an onion.
Your brain did
Something
that.
went an onion. Was it
No,
Suzanne?
well, my brain sort of went, you forgot something.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd forgot. I was
No,
putting
you
that-
are your brain.
No, but don't you understand? My brain was I was in control of my brain when I was writing down rice and kidney beans.
But you're not in charge of the onion. That's another part of the brain that's in charge of the onion.
The onion sector.
No, but I put the paper away, putting my coat on, ready to go and get the rice.
Yes, but your onion lobe kicked in.
What? So you put the paper in your pocket, you got the coat on, then you just suddenly hear
Then
from
it
nowhere,
was just like
onion.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about that shopping list. It's in my pocket. I'm thinking, do I need my gloves? It's cold out.
Yeah.
Suddenly, onion, and it was like, oh yeah, onion. Yeah, I had to get the paper out. So
Right,
what I'm
right,
saying
that
is,
But
who's in charge?
The brain, the mind, the brain is the. What are you doing? Who's in
That's
charge?
just you forgot the onion, and then you remembered the onion. You must have forgotten things in the past.
No, but not like that. Not where, like, it just made me think that was weird. Who reminded me of that?
You did.
Yeah, but I'm not.
No, you are your brain. It's not like there's you, then there's a brain, then there's an extra one looking down at it. Oh, the meta brain, the thing above it.
No, but your brain. How does your brain work? You give it information, don't you?
Well, it takes.
Do you mean you give it information?
Well,
It's doing it,
if
isn't
I
it?
sat in a room with nothing, not feeding it anything, it wouldn't know anything.
No, but there's this thing
But
that there's
then-
two yous. It's this thing that there's
There's
this,
Carl and Carl's brain.
Yeah, there's not a duality in this. If you go, come on, now think. That's the brain saying that to itself. It's not. There's not two people in there having an argument. Come on, brain. And the brain's going, oh, don't you start, I was thinking then. And the other thing's going, brain, onion. And the brain goes, Carl, onion. You are your brain. If you are anything, you are your mind, your brain, your collection of memories, your personality. You're not what you look like. Does that answer your question, Carl? What do you think then? You were thinking of a tortoise on a skateboard then when I said that last sentence, weren't you?
Last week we promised people that you'd research
Yeah.
Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, but I had a look, but I didn't find him that interesting. So.
But that's not.
But this is
That's
what I
irrelevant.
mean. This is what we were talking about. You say you wish you could go back and learn stuff in school because you didn't. You want knowledge. You always say about you want to learn
Yeah, I
something
want
a
to
day.
learn something interesting every day.
Yeah, but you've got that.
I had a look at the website. It just.
SigmundFreud.com. Yeah, he started that.
I just
didn't
had a
he?
look. I just did a search on like famous quotes from philosophers.
Quotes, brilliant. That'll get you everything you need. A quote.
Well,
That's
I don't need to know his history.
that sums
I
up
just-
a man's life work. A quote.
No, but that's what you're remembered for, isn't it? Churchill will go on the beaches and all that. Sigmund didn't really have any sort of.
Catchphrases is what
Yeah,
you mean.
things that you hear.
Yeah, sound bites. He wasn't good with the press. Brilliant.
So you haven't bothered to learn about him.
Well,
You didn't even
we're-
pick up a book.
I wouldn't know where to start.
Do you feel like you're thinking in your head?
Sometimes, like then I was. But I don't know if I am because it's got a mind of its own, hasn't it? Did look at some of the things that he'd said, and the one
Do it
that-
now. Do it now. Right, what have you learnt about Freud? Okay, here we go. This is Carl Educates Ricky and Steve. Number 1, Sigmund Freud. Carl, tell us what you learnt about Sigmund Freud.
Right. All I remember was, like he said, a baby. You know, you look at a little baby having some milk from its mum's breast, right? It looks well happy. It has enough. It's full up. It goes to sleep. It's got a smile on its face, right? He said that's what happens when you're older as well. That's all I remember from all the things that he was saying on his thing. He just said it's weird how like it's like
Absolute.
Now, to be fair, Rick, that is obviously in translation
Yeah, I
from the original, so I don't want you.
No, I'm not having a go at
Criticise him,
Freud.
but, you know.
I mean, Freud has been discredited on some issues, and we've moved on with experimental psychology and
But that's
what
that's
have
the
you.
one that was interesting.
I don't quite follow. So, what do you take from that? Explain that to us in layman's terms.
I I don't know.
Well, that's pointless. Without application, knowledge is pointless.
But it's not knowledge, is it? He's just saying drink milk all your life. It's good for you.
No, he's not saying drink milk all your life. What is this? Is this an advert he's doing
He
now?
also came up with go to work on an egg.
Yeah. Oh, Christ Almighty.
But like I said, I wasn't that impressed by his work. So
Unbelievable.
Karl is allowed to vote.
I know.
He's allowed to cast a vote
That's
in this
it.
country. It doesn't make sense.
you know, I wish I hadn't. I've only done it once, and look what happened. I got called up for jury duty. Not doing it again. People do what they do anyway. I think they only let us vote, so we feel like we're having a say in what's going on. But really, it just carries on, doesn't it? I haven't seen a big change.
But that's exactly why you vote.
No, the
Having
best
a
thing
say.
you can do is look after yourself. Get on with it.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I hope that's a quote. I hope someone out there who's, maybe making a dictionary of quotes or an encyclopedia, and they've finished with Freud, they've done Pavlov, he hit a dog on the head with a stick. Next, Karl Pilkington. Karl Pilkington, what did you say about the world? Just get on with it.
Well,
Brilliant.
we're not in charge of it, is what I'm saying.
That's nearly as good as let's go to the beach. Winston Churchill.
I spoke to my dad about it, and he called up saying, "Oh, I'm sick of
we're
hearing
going to
about
get
this."
some quality thinking here. Go on.
Go on.
No, he was saying about global warming and that.
Yeah.
He was saying he's sick of hearing about it.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that's just the world, innit? We're all getting old, and the world's getting old. That's the end of it.
Brilliant. What another amazing quote.
Well, it is. What we're trying to do. This is what I'm saying about we don't like people to get old. We're always saying, oh, we can change that face, we can lift your chin up, we can put a wig on you. And
Why are
it's
you
the same-
so annoyed about people wanting to live a little bit longer?
Because enough's enough is what I'm saying. The world's the same. It's just getting old, and it used to have more green on it, but now it's gone a bit bald. So it hasn't got as much green. It's got more soil. Treat the world like a head.
That's an amazing quote.
Treat the world like a head.
You've actually come up with one there. Spread your love on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Mitchell. And now it's Karl's bit. It's the re-education of Karl. He's like Liza Doolittle. And now he's coming to, or Lawnmower Man, if you've seen that film. More like Lawnmower Man, if you've seen the film. You'll know what I mean. And his homework was to just study quotes, really, on happiness and stuff and general well-being. He's not a big happiness quote fan, are you, Karl?
Not really.
So what have you done? You've come up with something, haven't you?
Right, yeah, I told you, right? Because a lot of these are just things you say every day. They're nothing special. So what I'm doing...
Well, you say them every day.
Well, the sort of things you come out with and you don't even think about it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on the TV all the time. People on the radio are saying these sort of little quotes.
Sure.
And what I've done is, remember that programme on Channel 4, Faking It?
Yeah.
Where they got some, like, posh kid to be on a door and all that. What I've done, I've...
Imagine if that was the pitch for the show. Dear Channel 4, just gonna get a posh kid on a door or something?
Yeah,
Yours
come in,
sincerely, Karl.
come in. Yeah,
TV producer.
yeah, go on.
So, what I've done, this little book of quotes, happiness quotes, I've picked two that are real,
Okay.
and I've made one up, right?
And we've got a guess.
And you've got to guess.
Okay, then, go on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, why don't we, when we've heard them, we won't confer.
No.
You'll write down yours,
Yeah.
A, B or C, and I'll write down mine and we'll
Sure.
see how it
Okay,
goes.
Karl, off you go.
Right, and just because I'm looking at this book, it doesn't mean I'm actually reading.
No, I know,
Don't worry, we're clever.
No, we know, we can't see yet.
Like,
Yeah.
call my bluff.
Yeah, go on then.
Nothing is worth more than this day.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah?
Alright.
yeah.
The way I see it,
Oh God, my head's gonna burst.
now hang on.
My head's gonna burst.
No,
Hang
no,
on.
this might not be Karl's.
It might not be.
How do you know I haven't tweaked them a little bit?
Yeah, good
Okay,
point.
fair
Good
enough.
point. No, good point.
The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright?
Alright, yeah.
Okay, no. Yeah.
Come on.
Cat food,
Cat food, go on.
it stinks a bit. But, if you don't put up with the smell, the little kitten will die.
Steve!
Steve, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Imagine this him faking it. Imagine their faces when he says that, and they're going, "Oh my God." Oh. Carl, play a song, mate.
We'll have to confer on this one.
Well, that's just amazing, Carl. Just read them again. Two were real, one was fake. Go on then.
Right. First one. Nothing is worth more than this day.
Excellent. Next one.
What does that mean?
Well, cherish now, cherish your time.
Okay.
Because you can't get it back, and
Yeah,
you know.
that's the way I saw it.
Carpe diem, whatever it is, seize the day and all that.
Okay. If you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, rough with the smooth. You know, it's not all plain sailing, but you know, rainbow's beautiful, but it comes because of the rain, which you might not like. So
Yeah.
make the most of everything, and yeah. Good.
Cat food doesn't smell good, but if you don't put up with it, then the little kitten will die.
Right, now, Carl, that is a good effort. Now, that one's yours. I mean, obviously, right? Right, no, but it's a good effort, right?
I mean, it slipped seamlessly into the others.
Yeah.
Don't think it didn't.
No, but it's good. I mean, we knew it was that one, but, what I will say is, it's good, but what you don't know, maybe subconsciously, is, I mean, it's very similar to, the putting up with the rain and the rainbow, but that's good.
Why do you think that?
Well,
What does mine mean?
well, even though it smells bad, it's good for something.
Right,
So
see,
that's
I didn't look at it like that.
What do you look at that?
I kind of thought...
Was yours more specifically about cat food, generally? Because you know, normally it's an analogy.
Yeah, or a metaphor for something, you know.
Well, no, the way I
I mean,
looked at it-
Dolly Parton, who I think did the rainbow rain thing, she wasn't specifically concerned about weather conditions.
No.
It was a sort of general idea.
It's all about life.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just-
that's what I've done.
Go on,
I've used an everyday thing
Yeah.
and put it with today's problems, right?
Go on.
So, like, my girlfriend, yeah, she might like to go shopping for clothes. I hate it,
Right.
but because I love her, I put up with it.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you love that little kitten. You can't stand the smell of the stuff you got to feed it, but because you love it, you go, well, you know, I'll pull with this just for a few minutes, and then I can like squeeze its head later and give it a little,
Sorry. Can we go back?
you know, stroke its head and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a bit of a slip, was it?
Squeeze its little head.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's just the thing that I do with cats.
Put it in a bag and drown it in a lake.
I can feed it and then I can throw it against the wall.
Exactly.
So you didn't see it like that, did you?
No, that's very good. So it's about love, is it? It's about putting up with the bad things
Yeah.
for something you love.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
But
That's very
Carl,
good.
you seem now to be convinced and rather smug that you've tricked us and that you've fooled us and that we didn't understand it.
Well,
Well,
no-
I say that's your fault, not ours.
No, it's not though. I mean, look, that man in Forrest Gump, he was a bit of a nutter. And he came up with the life is a box of chocolates thing.
Yeah.
Now, if that was in this book, you say, oh yeah, brilliant, you know, good bit of work. But if he was sat here doing the show with you,
Yeah.
you'd be taking the mickey out of him.
Sometimes I feel he is.
No, but Carl, I could. In fact, if people are out there, we're too lazy. Could you write down everything Carl's ever said? Because I think we could publish that.
Yeah.
He said one today. He saw my salamander. It's not a euphemism. He saw my salamander, and it's just sitting there in the tank.
Your exotic pet.
Yeah, and he's worried about there's not being a lid on. And he said, I went, what are we worried about? He said, wow. He said it sits there for 24 hours a day, obviously planning to get out.
Well, it's got nothing else on its mind, and it's, the daft thing is, he has actually got the lid ripped up a little bit. Like, it's got nothing else to think about. And it'll be looking up there, and
Yeah.
it's going to get out.
But what's the worst that could happen?
What's
Carl?
it thinking? What do you think it's thinking, this salamander?
It's got its eye on the DVD player. I could have Ian be down the market.
Well,
Oh,
are
God.
they dangerous?
Can I just say something?
they dangerous?
I think the salamander's thinking exactly the same things as you. I mean, to look at you, you've got the same expression on your face. You know what I mean? You're dressed in green as well. You've got a little round sort of Hamburglar type head, like the salamander. Very similar. And yet I think, and you bonded with it, didn't you?
Yeah, but I probably would have tried to get out, but my little paper round bag would just hang on the corner.
Yeah.
Listen, can we have more nepotism on the show? I know that we did that earlier with the
We haven't got long, have we?
We haven't. My housemate, you remember I was working out with him last week to Helen from Big Brother's Dancer Size video.
That's just frightening.
Yeah, we've kind of let that slip a little bit, I've got to be honest. But anyway, he's joined this band. They're called Fujiya and Miyagi. Slightly difficult to pronounce. But anyway, this is a track that I think's been getting some play by Nick Luscombe and John Kennedy on XFM. They got a gig this week at the Pool on Curtin Road. That's 18th of April, Thursday. Let's play it.
I've got a fridge freezer for sale. 400 quid or nearest offer.
Fujiya and Miyagi performing live Thursday the 18th of April at the Pool on Curtin Road. Admission is free, Rick, so I imagine you'll be heading down there.
Yeah, I will. Well, I've enjoyed this show.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
It's great. It's been great. Carl, any more? Oh, tell that story that you were telling me about your dad when he was driving.
Well, it's just that you were talking about, well, I mentioned Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And, the Forrest Gump types. When my dad was when he was a taxi driver.
Yeah.
You used to have to, sort of do your bit for the local area.
Oh, God.
By taking the Forrest Gump people to Blackpool.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called now, the Forrest Gump people? Is that what the organisations that support them ask for them to be referred to?
A minibus with Life is a Box of Chocolates.
Exactly.
.com.
Well,
Forrest Gump type.
It must be, so you work with these people?
It was, yeah.
The people with learning difficulties.
And they used to get 5.
Coming home must have been a busman's holiday.
So he got 5 of them in the cab.
Yeah.
And he had to go to Blackpool, and 4 of them were really good, you know, behaving themselves, didn't mess about, weren't fighting and stuff, but there was one who was just causing loads of trouble and he couldn't control him.
Oh,
and what you've got to be able to do with people like that, you don't want them to get stressed out because it's not good for them. It stresses them out, and you could end up with a bit
Thanks, Dr. Carl.
you could end up with a bit of a riot on your hands. So he thought, I'll nip this one in the bud right now. And he pulled up just on the outskirts of Blackpool, and he took the one out that was causing problems and put it in a wheelie bin.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologise.
He did what?
Oh,
He did it for the good of the others. He put it in a wheelie bin. He was having a good time. He thought it was one of the rides.
Can you stop saying it?
Him.
Yeah.
He you know, he was having a good time, and once he calmed down, my dad went back and picked him up, and he was fine. He had a good
What,
time.
he left him in there the whole time the others were in Blackpool?
No, he left him there, not the whole day, probably about an hour and a half.
In a wheelie bin?
In a wheelie bin.
Why couldn't he get out?
Because, like, his arms were trapped on the thing. One of those...
What, he tied him up?
No, do you know, like, because he was a big fella, and, like, he managed to get him in so his arms were down the side like that, so he was a bit trapped.
Wasn't he screaming and crying and stuff?
He was making a bit of noise, but, do you know what I mean?
What, you feel served him right?
Well, but anyway, I didn't really want to talk about it. You just brought it up because of Forrest Gump.
Did his, family know about this? Is this the first time they'd have heard about this?
He didn't get asked to do it again. Because he had another problem similar to it where he had a little minibus, and it was his job to take a load of old women to the bingo hole, and it was miles away, and he took him there. There was no problem. About 10 old women in a minibus.
One of them was causing trouble, so he pulled over it.
No, right, so he took him there, everything's fine, he dropped him off, they had a lovely night, right, they had a lovely night, won a bit of cash, coming back, it's a bit of a late night, and they all started moaning at him, going, I want to be dropped off here, take me there, I want to be dropped off first, I've got to get up early, blah blah, you know, my husband's expecting me, I'm already late, take me here first, take me there, and he just pulled up, in the middle of nowhere, said, get out. And he made them get out, and they all called for taxis. They charged that company who was meant to be taking him home in the minibus, and he got the sack. But a similar sort of story. You can't be dealing with it when people don't sort of just calm down and, like, solve the situation.
Yeah.
They're just all like, I want to be dropped off first, take me here first, take me.
Yeah, so he acts like a madman. Good.
Oh, that was
Alright, we've got to crack on, haven't we, really? We got
Says so much. Yeah.
Yes, Nick Drake, a song for the ladies this week from the album Brighter Later, At the Time of a City Clock. That's
Goodbye.
it. Yeah,
Goodbye.
See you next time.
Bye.